Greetings, RC Model Geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 11 of the DB Sport and Scale PUP electric build. So today it's going to be the wings. Now there's one person out there that's desperate to see the build of these wings because they fucked theirs up completely. So we might make this fairly detailed on building the wing. We'll see how it goes. So first things first, I'm going to go through all the parts and cut them out of their bits of wood. And I'll come back to you when I've done that. I've got most of the bits cut out, the ribs and stuff like that. Now, for the price of this kit, right, you know, you'd think it's quality. And half, I would say half of the laser cutting in this kit is crap. The other half is fine. You know, you'd think they'd get it right. You'd almost think that they've got a whole load of crap cut, laser cut parts, and they put, oh, we'll go, I know, let's put half of it in the kit that's crap and half of it in the kit that's good, just to get rid of it. You know, it's yeah, it's a joke really. Let's have a look at these ribs. So here's a rib, right, it's come out of the wood. Yeah, and these ribs weren't cut all the way through with the laser. So if we flip that over, you can see here where the spars are going to go. Yeah, I've still got wood in there. Yeah, if I flip that over, it hasn't cut through. Yeah, and they're a pain in the arse to cut out properly. You know, with a knife and stuff. It just takes time. It's a right pain. So, yeah. You've got to sort out things like that. How many ribs were like that? It was probably one sheet's worth that weren't cut right on that. You can see all these ones here. Yeah, if I flip them over, you know, you can see they're not cut through. Turn them over. It's just a pain in the arse. So that's all great. So we've got to sort them out. Some of it was cut fine. Here's some examples of some stuff that's actually not too bad. But obviously that was on a different sheet. And you see they cut through and they broke out quite nicely. So that's all wonderful. And most of these came out okay. There's a few odd bits that need tidying up. Anyway, enough about that little whinge. For the price of the kit, you know, you'd expect it to be right, wouldn't you? So, first things when making up a wing, you want to make sure that the bits of wood fit together. You want to make sure that the spars fit into the ribs. So what you do, if we take this one apart, is you get a group of the ribs that are all the same, like this, and you tape them together. Okay. And then you can get your spar and see if it fits into all your ribs. You don't want to find this out when you're laying it all out on the board, because it's a nightmare. So you push your bits of wood, your spars, into your ribs like that, and then you can look at them. Okay, now depending on the design, these spars should be either flat with the rib, or they should be below the rib, depending on the design and what's got to go on top of this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll grab the drawing and have a look and see how it actually goes together and whether or not these should be flush or below. So I'll grab the drawing and be back with you in a minute. So here is their drawing, and they show on the drawing a typical wing section. Okay, and they show the spars here, 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 here. They show the leading edge here and a trailing edge here. And as you can see, all of those parts should be exactly flush with the top and bottom of the rib. Okay, here and here. This trailing edge part here and that leading edge part there should all be flush. Okay, so let's have a look then back at a bit of rib. So if we look at this one, I can feel that is slightly high. Yeah, there's just a bit of a lip there. It's because when you come to cover that, it's going to show up. Okay, so what you need to do is get a file and file out these slots. Okay, I've already started to have a go on the front one there. Okay, but I need to do the same to the back one. And if you look, you can see the way they laser cut this, the little tabs that hold the parts in to the wood after it's been laser cut were done in these slots. So you've got a little high spot. If the camera will focus on it. Alright, so first of all, you can see that white line. That's like the little joining tab to the main bit of balsa that it was cut out of. So first off, we need to sand away that slot so that that spar fits in there. Right, I've sanded this slot here for the spar, and that now fits in lovely jubbly. Yeah, and it just sits a tad below the surface. I mean, it's minuscule, and that's not a problem because we've got to sand the top of the ribs and the bottom of the ribs anyway, you know, to get a nice finish on those. So I've done that one there and I've done that one there, and they now line up perfect with the size of the spar. Right, the next slot to look at is this one here, which is on the front there, different size of wood. We're going to slot that in like that, and we're going to rub over with our fingers again just to feel whether it's high or low. I've already brushed over the slots in the ribs on this one, and it's not far out. Not far out at all. So we'll say that one is good. And if we flip over to the underside, I've not touched this one at all. So we'll slot that in there. Or we'll try and slot it in. There you go. Right, now this one I can feel is high. So if we see if we can get a shot on that, you can just see it sticking up above the rib. So we've got to tweak that slot with a file so that that spar drops down to either flush with the bottom of the rib or just slightly below. Just slightly below is better because, like I said before, we've got to sand all these ribs anyway. So I'm going to file this. Right, I filed that bottom slot. That wood slots in there and it's now flush, so that is good. So the next thing to look at is the trailing edge. Now, as you can see here, we've got those little bits where it was joined to the wood, that white line again. So I'll find the bit of wood that slots in here and we'll work out how much we need to sand off of here. So I've got my trailing edge stock here and my ribs again, and what we'll do is we'll put this there like that, and same thing, feel it with your fingers, and I can feel that there's a ridge, so we know that that slot isn't deep enough for this bit of wood. And let's see if we can hold this in a position where you can get a better idea. Right, there you go. Whether or not this will focus, but you can see, there you go, you can see that that bit of trailing edge stock is slightly thicker than the slot, creating a step. So we've got to file out that slot so that piece of wood, trailing edge wood, ends up flush with the bottom of the rib. Now hopefully this will focus, and you better see that now I've got it flat with the bottom. So that's another piece done. So we've just got to sort out that front slot now and get the wood to fit in there. Okay, so the final bit we need to check on these ribs is the front here. And as you can see, we've got the same kind of situation again, where we've got those little tabs that were holding the ribs to the wood. So here's our leading edge, and there is our rib, and if we put that on there, I can feel again that there's a lip. So we've got to file or sand this down here so that that is flush. Right, I've filed the front there, and now that that leading edge goes on there quite nicely, and there's no step. So the final thing to do is to give all those ribs a light sanding. All those ribs are done. I've given them a light sanding on the top edges and the bottom, and so they are all ready to use, which is wonderful. Now I've got to do the same to all these ones here and those ones there. Yeah, so I'll see you in about a week. Okay, we are getting there very slowly. Those are the parts that I have fettled. These are the parts that still need to be fettled. So it's a slow old process. So back soon, hopefully, when I've done all these bits, and then we can maybe think about building the wing. You never know, we might actually start it today. There, pretty much, is every part for the wing. All fettled, filed, sanded, and what have you, ready to be assembled. So the assembly of the wing itself should go really smoothly. So I'm going to call it a day for today, because this has taken me, well, I don't know, 4 hours of fettling and farting. And I'm going to start afresh tomorrow and build the wing. yeah, there's a lot of parts there. All those false ribs there. Oh, billions of those false ribs. Yeah. And some like beach and stuff. I think that's beach, whatever. Yeah, the spars there, they all had to be sanded because they were laser cut. So they all had to be sanded smooth and cleaned up. Yeah. So, like, comment and subscribe, and get ready for the real wing build tomorrow. If you want to email us, there's the email on the end of my finger. And I'll see you all tomorrow for part 12. Bloody hell, I think this is going to be like 30 parts by the time it's finished. But yeah, part 12 tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get the wing looking like a wing. See you all then. Bye.